United Nations says eat more insects. It's good for you, good for the world. Eat more insects. Good for you, good for the world. Here's what they said. The UN has a new weapon to fight hunger, boost nutrition, and reduce pollution, and they might be crawling or flying near you right now. That's edible insects. The Food and Agriculture Organization on Monday, May 13th, 2013, hailed the likes of grasshoppers, ants, and other members of the insect world as an underutilized food for people, livestock, and pets. A 200-page report released at a news conference at the UN's agency Rome headquarters says 2 billion people worldwide already supplement their diets with insects, which are high in protein and minerals and have environmental benefits. All right, so they're high in minerals, right? Where did the insect get its minerals from? From the plants that it was eating. Where did the plants get their minerals from? The soil. Only problem is there's no place on God's green earth where the soil has all of the minerals all of the time. It's a crapshoot if you anticipate or expect to get your body's nutritional needs, to have your body's nutritional needs met simply by eating food. Doesn't matter how arcane the food source is. Doesn't matter. What does matter is that you get your nutritional tank filled. And people say, oh, Dr. Glidden, look, that's not how God set the world up. You know, what God didn't make, vitamin stores. God gave us all the foods and the grains and everything else to eat, and that's how we should do it. We should just live naturally. Well, that didn't work so well for the Native Americans, did it? And quite frankly, it's nonsense to think like that. God gave you a brain, right, to help you figure things out and sort things out. If this isn't the Garden of Eden, we can't all, walk around without any clothes on because it's 90 degrees morning, afternoon, evening, and night. It never snows, it never rains, and the water that we're walking around is pure all of the time. It's nonsense. It's fanciful thinking. It's outdated. It's old-fashioned. It's archaic, and it's dangerous. There are things that we have to do to survive on planet Earth, right? I mean, you got to build houses and protect yourself from the elements. You have to do that. Even the Native Americans did that. They lived in teepees and wigwams, for goodness sake. In the North Pole, they live in igloos. You have to shelter yourself from the elements, number one. Number two, you have to find a water source and purify it. And for goodness sake, you want to have an experience with unpurified water? Go to Mexico on vacation and drink the tap water. Go ahead. See how that works for you. You need to find and purify water. It's mandatory. The houses that you live in, the dwellings that you live in, I don't care if you live in a teepee, you have to heat it or cool it, right? It has to be heated in the winter and cooled in the summer, and you also need to develop some type of waste elimination system. Even the Native Americans knew you don't pee upstream and drink downstream, right? You have to eliminate your wastes smartly. These are things we have to do, for goodness sake, just to survive on good old planet Earth. Just to survive. Just to make it to tomorrow, right? We have to guard ourselves against the elements. We have to find and purify water, and we have to eliminate our waste appropriately and safely and smartly. Well, those are things we have to do, living here on the green earth that God gave us. Well, there's a couple more things we need to do. Number one, we need to identify and eliminate food that has a net negative effect on the human body. We need to identify and eliminate the 10 bad foods. Stop eating these foods yesterday. Don't even look at these foods ever again. Eliminate the 10 bad foods. Number two, increase your daily intake of antioxidants, whatever it is, whether it's an herb, whether it's a tea, whether it's a food, whether it's a beverage, whatever it is, there has to be an antioxidant source greater than 20,000 ORAC points. 20,000 ORAC points of antioxidants every day. Those need to go down the hatch. 20,000 antioxidant ORAC points a day. So drink a couple glasses of green tea. Switch from white wine to red wine. Have a handful of walnuts. Have curry powder. Have cayenne pepper. Have something that's high in antioxidants. Have blueberries instead of bananas. Have raspberries instead of apples. Have something that's high in antioxidants to boost your antioxidant ORAC score to 20,000 a day minimum. 20 grand a day. That's your minimum daily allowance of antioxidant points. And third and finally, most importantly, find and swallow the 90 essential nutrients every day. 90 essential nutrients. 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and 2 essential fatty acids. Now, who knows? You know, this year we might discover 2 more essential nutrients. Next year there might be 3 more. The year after that, there might be a nutrient that we thought was essential that isn't. The list is modified all of the time. But right now, we concur that there are 90 essential nutrients. This is why longevity is buoying the phrase 90 for life. This is what 90 for life refers to. The 90 essential nutrients necessary to support and promote the structure and function of your human body. Your body needs stuff in order to get the job done. It needs essential fatty acids and minerals. It needs amino acids. It needs omega-3, omega-6 essential fatty acids. It needs minerals and vitamins to get the job done. Your brain, your eyes, ears, nose, mouth, and throat, your nerves, your stomach, your kidneys, your bladder, your uterus, your intestines, your skin. Everything in your body needs nutrients in order to keep moving forward. Just like your car, you got to put gas in the car, got to put oil in the car, got to put air in the tires, got to put steering wheel fluid in the steering wheel fluid bin. You've got to put windshield and wiper fluid. Well, you don't really need to do that, but it's a nice convenience, isn't it? You've got to put transmission fluid in. You've got to make sure the spark plugs are good. You've got to make sure the spark plug wires are good. You have to have enough coolant in the radiator. All these things you just take for granted. For goodness sake, you treat your car better than you treat your body. Your body needs to be maintained as well. There are 90 essential nutrients that your brain needs in order to function properly. There are 90 essential nutrients that your stomach needs to function properly. There are 90 essential nutrients that your bones and joints and ligaments and tendons need to function properly. And if you're hoping against hope to secure all 90 from your food every day, it ain't going to happen. But I'll tell you what will happen. Disease will happen. It's no different than your car. Your car runs out of oil, the engine seizes. Now, you know, does that mean that you put oil in the engine after it seizes? It's too late. You have to put it in before it seizes. You have to do preventive maintenance. Well, guess what? You have to do preventive maintenance with the human body as well. But it's easy. Dr. Wallach has done all the heavy lifting. He has, in fact, scoured the planet. He's found all 90 essential nutrients. He's purified them, put them together in bioavailable recipes. It was cutting edge, state-of-the-art, pharmaceutical-ish formulations of these products. The Beyond Tangy Tangerine is multiple vitamin, multiple mineral, multiple amino acid, multiple antioxidant nutritional supplement powder. The powder itself, the form that supplement is in, these microcrystals, it's a patented secret process. It took years to figure out how to do that. There's other vitamin companies around the world that would love to know how to do that, because the recipe, the way that stuff has been formed in the lab, the way that the vitamins have been formed in the laboratory, the way that the minerals have been formed in the laboratory with good old human intelligence, makes the Beyond Tangy Tangerine extremely easy for your body to absorb, uptake, and use. Extremely easy for your body to absorb, to uptake, and use. And this really is no different than anything else in life. I don't know if there are any ice skaters amongst you, amongst the listening audience. Ever tried to ice skate with a pair of skates that haven't been sharpened in 5 years? You can hardly do it. It's horrible. It's a horrible experience. It's no fun. You know, it's just pain and suffering all the time. But I tell you what, you strap a pair of sharpened skates on your feet, even if you have a modicum of a clue about how to skate, you're skating circles around the rink in no time flat. There's a big difference between how you navigate the ice rink with nice sharp skates and skates that are all dulled out, baby. A gigantic difference. It's no different with vitamin and mineral supplements. The recipe is everything. The formulation is everything. Well, Longevity's nutritional supplements, their recipes are informed by $25 million of federally funded research, and the formulations are sharpened by 30-plus years of clinical experience by the most lauded naturopathic physician in the world, Dr. Joel Wallach. This is an excellent combination. This is an excellent combination. It's good, old-fashioned American know-how put together with good, old, hard work. It's a combination of hard work and know-how leads to the formulation, the preparation, and the deliberation of the world's most sophisticated, bioavailable, effective, and safe nutritional supplements. You're going to spend hard-earned money on nutritional supplements because the insurance companies ain't going to want you to pay for this. The insurance companies aren't going to pay for your vitamins. You have to pay for them out of your pocket. That's hard-earned moolah, baby. That's hard-earned money. Blood, sweat, and tears goes into your bank account. I know that it does. It goes into mine, too. So when you're even considering spending hard-earned money on nutritional supplements, well, why not get the best? I mean, why not? Is there a reason to get number 2 or number 3 or number 4? How's that working for you? Number 1 is always the best, and longevity is number 1. 866-582-9933. Lines open, 866-582-9933. 866-582-9933. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Welcome to the second hour of Fire Your MD Now. Today is Monday, May 13th, and we are live. So, I have a question for you. What is a white and cold and has some of the most awesome longevity distributors in the world? The answer, Canada, baby. That's right. Above our border, Canada. Those Canadians are doing an awesome job. They wrote the book on awesome. You look up awesome in their dictionary, and there's a great giant picture of Alberta. Mike from Alberta is calling to tell us all about it. Thanks for the call, Mike. You are live.
You got me blushing, Dr. Glidden.
That's my job, buddy. That is my job.
Tell you what, Alberta is on fire for longevity. We're just seeing such big growth. Last month, I had 33 sign-ups in my downline alone.
33 in 1 month?
Yeah, 33.
Oh, that's awesome. Now,
it's amazing, I know.
What's your...
And the other thing is, I'd like to exhort my fellow longevity people to use any situation that you can. They come up all the time. I was in our local mall the other day, and it was just dead. Jennifer had to do a few things, and so I went walking around. Well, they had this CNIB table in the middle of the mall with 3 people sitting at it, and that's Canadian National Institute for the Blind.
Yeah.
So I walk over and I start looking through some of their brochures and pamphlets and stuff like that, and struck up a conversation with them. And then I offhandedly made a remark that I'd been reading that selenium will help with eye repair and reversal of macular degeneration, just giving the eye what it needs and the body what it needs to fix it on its own. And they were interested in that. So from there I went to Wallach and his history and what happened with him in the medical industry and whatnot. And all of a sudden, you know, the one lady, she knows a girl that's 22 and has such bad joint pain that she's bedridden. She has type 2 diabetes, You know what I mean? And so I ended up giving them one of my 90 for life cards. And they said about 4 or 5 people were wanting to try it out. I ended up playing at a party. I was drumming and singing, and there was this guitar player there who I'd never met, but the guy was phenomenal, so we got talking. Turns out his dad's got type 2 diabetes, and his hands swell up, and he can't play guitar. He wishes he could play guitar again. And I said, well, phone your dad and tell him he can play guitar again. Because longevity's on the scene, my friend.
I tell you what, man, this is the thing, right? This is why this business is so rewarding and so much fun and honestly so easy, because we say it all the time, Mike, you know, who is your longevity customer? Well, go outside and, you know, throw a stick. Whoever picks it up, that's your longevity customer, because everybody is sick and suffering. I don't care if you're 10 years old, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, and on and on and on. Everybody is sick and suffering because everybody is under-nutrified. Everybody is eating all the wrong food all of the time. And the only thing necessary, really, to have a successful longevity business is just to be mindful, to be compassionate, to be caring, and, you know, have the cojones to go out there and put your, you know, your reputation on the line to drag people into the light of medical nutrition. I tell you what, man, you are doing a fantastic job of it. What's your current rank with longevity, Mike?
Senior SEMD.
All right, Senior Executive Marketing Director. Now, when you're an SEMD, that gives you an automatic bonus. It's called a car bonus every month. How much is the automatic bonus?
$300.
$300 extra. I mean, Mike wouldn't need to do anything else. He wouldn't need to do anything else. He's going to get $300 a month, $300 a month, $300 a month automatically. Now, he doesn't have to use that to pay for a car. The company calls it a car bonus just because they do. You can use that money for whatever you want, and I bet you that beats a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. Mike, listen, man, you are an inspiration. Your little town of Camrose up there in the Great White North is going to put longevity on the map. And I've got news for you, buddy. I've got 2 words for you where I want to go next. Are you listening?
Go ahead, yeah.
Red deer, baby. Red deer. I want to bring longevity down to red deer. I want to know your thoughts about that when we come back. Hey, Mike, stick around with me if you can. I want to talk a little bit more about longevity. Welcome aboard, everybody. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, and this is Fire Your MD Now. Is there open mic? Are you still with me?
Still with you.
All right, Skipper. So let's get real here, Mike. I want you to tell the listening audience, I don't want any inflation. I don't want any exaggeration. I just want you to tell it real time. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, who I am talking to is Mike Phillip. He's one of the people that fills in for me here on Fire Your MD Now when I'm away from the office, when I'm traveling, when I can't do the radio program live. We like to have live shows. So the commander takes over sometimes, and Mike Phillip takes over sometimes. So that's who we're talking to right now. Now, Mike, tell the listening audience how long you've been with longevity and what you do, what your job before longevity was. Just give us a little background about who you are.
Well, I have been working on big trucks, Kenworths, Peterbilts, and whatnot for about 13 years. And it's been good to me. There's been a few lean times, but we work very hard. And, I heard about longevity through Alex Jones, really, from listening to his podcast every day. And I like interesting radio, and Alex is definitely that. So, through listening to Alex, I heard you, and I heard Dr. Wallach on there. And I was really intrigued, so I got on board with it. And over the last 2 years, basically a year ago is when I started with longevity, but over the last few years, I've found my want to get up at 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning and go to work has been waning seriously. And I just don't want to do it anymore. So when longevity came along, this is perfect. And what I'm finding now, when you have a bunch of people in your downline, you can't just ignore those people. You can't just walk away. Because they're a lot of times they're scared. They're hearing conflicting information that from what they've heard their whole life, and it's in matters of their health. And sometimes, you know, they're not exactly rational or whatever the case might be, but they're scared. And so if you will take the extra time, yeah, you know, if you sign up somebody on a CEO pack and keep track of when your shipments usually arrive, and keep in touch with those people, make sure they got it, make sure they know that, you know, if they're slugging down 4 scoops of Tangy first thing in the morning, how come they got exploding diarrhea for the next 2 hours? Stuff like that, right? Because people, you know, and it'll say right on the can oftentimes how much you take per body weight, but sometimes people just need stuff pointed out to them. So pay a lot of attention to the people in your downline, which is what I try to do. And while things are hot, we're going to be establishing meetings here in Camrose right after the May long weekend. And we're going to get together and discuss marketing strategies, success stories, and all things longevity in Camrose.
All right. Now, Mike, you are in your life before longevity, you had a company that did what exactly did you do to the outside of trucks? You'd refinish them and refurbish them, right?
Yeah, what we would do is we would sand out aluminum parts and paint and basically power polish it and bring them back to, you know, we take a 7-year-old truck and make it look brand new, basically. Yeah. And so the guys would take the truck to the auction and sometimes get an extra $6,000 on a sale from say a $1,500 polish job, right?
Gotta love it. So, did you have any medical training? Were you a nurse or an ambulance driver or anything like that? Did you have any training in medicine prior to longevity?
My training in medicine was getting shipped to the hospital at 4 a.m, turning blue when I was 9 years old, as I couldn't breathe.
Now, how difficult has it been for you as a lay person, not knowing anything about medicine whatsoever, to turn people on to the longevity message of health recovery through medical nutrition? Has that been easy, or has it been difficult, or what's that been like?
Easy like falling off of a truck.
Why is that?
Because we get results. We've got the studies of Dr. Joel Wallach, and nobody else has that. We had some people from another company selling supplements, and, you know, we were at a conference, and they were right angry at us because we had a bunch of people around our table, and they didn't. Well, I got looking into their product, and, you know, it's a lot of really good, basically it's a fruit juice complex, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, their biggest credibility thing backing this thing up is that a bunch of TV doctors back it. And I mean, when the lady told me that, I said, well, I would avoid that like the disease plague it is, you know? But,
so, yeah.
Okay. It's just, we've got it. We've got the results. I can confidently tell somebody that I know somebody who had type 2 diabetes. They did what I said, and their blood sugar has leveled out, and they're telling me they've never felt better in their life. I can, you know, if I'm talking to anybody, I can get on my phone and phone 6 people that corroborate what I'm saying and tell them how fantastic they feel.
Yeah, so this is it, ladies and gentlemen. In order to have a successful longevity business, you don't need to be the expert. You just need to be able to take people to the expert, right? If you had a fantastic restaurant, you just found the best restaurant you've ever found in your life. By the way, I did find that. I just found the best Thai food restaurant I've ever had in my life. It's in Las Vegas. It's in the east end of town in kind of a rundown neighborhood. It's called Lotus of Siam. It's like this unbelievable world's best Thai food restaurant. I mean, you'd have to go to Phuket, Thailand to get something similar. Absolutely, hands down, the best Thai food I've ever had in my entire life, right? So what am I going to do now? I want to turn all my friends on to this restaurant. What am I going to do? Am I going to go to culinary school, get my chef's degree, and then work at Lotus of Siam, and then steal their recipes, and then have everybody over to my house for dinner? No, I'm not going to become the expert. I'm not going to do that. All I'm going to do is tell people about the restaurant and tell them, hey, go check that out. Best Thai food I've ever had in my life. And honest to God, it was. That's all that you need to do to be a successful longevity rep. You don't even need to know how to spell vitamin, for goodness sake. You don't need to know anything about anything having to do with medicine. You just need to have the willpower to show people what we're up to, and, you know, to be brave enough to suffer the slings and arrows of somebody saying no to you. And I got to tell you something. Yeah, that's it, man. Once the 10th person says no to you, you don't even notice it anymore. I mean, is that right, Mike? I mean, how do you feel when people say no, that they don't want to do it? How does that make you feel?
I don't really get rejected too much.
Well,
I don't know. What does it feel like?
You gotta love it, man. From the mouths of not such a babe. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. In order to be successful with longevity, all you need to do is speak the truth. Don't need to become the expert. All you need to do is take people to the expert. And here's how that conversation goes. Hey, look, man, I see you're suffering with type 2 diabetes. Well, guess what? I know a doctor nominated for the Nobel Prize who says you don't have to suffer with that. If I lend you this CD, will you listen to it? If I bring you to this radio station, will you tune in? If I send you to this webinar, will you attend? If I send you a link to this video, will you watch it? If I give you this 800 number for a pre-recorded phone call, will you listen to it? That's all that you have to do. Over and over and over and over and over and over again. And then, just like Mike Phillip, way up there in the great white chilly north of Camrose, you're going to be making a little bit more money every month. Then you're going to get your supplements for free. Then you're going to get enough money to make a car payment. Then you're going to get enough money to make a house payment. Then you're going to get enough money to start putting stuff away for retirement. And it just keeps getting better and better and better. Unlike the weather in Canada. What's it like up there now, Mike?
T-shirt weather. I was just out raking the lawn.
You were? What is it like? So what is it in Fahrenheit up there now? Do you know?
I'm not even sure at that. I'd say it's about 25 Celsius, though.
Yeah. So that's warming right up. Well, hopefully winter is over, man. But I've got to tell you, with you and your group and everybody else in the great province of Alberta, and let me tell you something, we're going to spread out really rather quickly. It's always summer all the time because you and every other Canadian that's a member of Longevity are taking our message to the streets, helping people to recover their health with our simple boilerplate dialed-in medical nutrition formulations. I got to tell you, Mike, you're doing a fantastic job. Keep up the good work. Thanks for calling in, brother. Now get out there and enroll somebody.
You got it, man.
So this is it, ladies and gentlemen. 866-582-9933. That's the number to call to talk to me live. Lines are open, 866-582-9933. If you're listening to the podcast or would like information about the health opportunity or the wealth opportunity, about the business opportunity that we offer here, about how to get the nutritional supplements appropriate for your particular health concern in order to support and promote your body's ability to fix itself at the wholesale price, that number, 855-347-3696. That's 855-347-3696. And as always, you can check us out 24/7 on the World Wide Web. Two websites to go to, fireyourmdnow.com and fireyourmdnow.ca. That's .com or .ca. They'll take you to the appropriate place, and then if you click on the Join Longevity link from either one of those websites, somebody from Team Glidden is going to get in touch with you and show you the ropes, baby. Just like we did with Mike Phillip up there in Calgary, we're going to show you the ropes. Just like we did with Ashley and Duffy James there in Seattle, we're going to show you the ropes. Just like we did with Corey up there in the great province of Calgary, Alberta, the great city of Calgary, the great province of Alberta, up in Canada. Because this is easy, folks. We have a 7-year-old in Seattle she's got the car bonus too. How about that? You know, any other 7-year-olds that are getting a car bonus as a check from an international vitamin company every month? This is so easy, even a 7-year-old can do it, and I am here to blow your mind. on two fronts. Number one, MDs do not know what's best for you. They only know what they've been trained in, and what they trained in stinks in the treatment of chronic disease. They're the leading cause of death, the leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States. Their therapeutics are old-fashioned, outdated, out of sync, dangerous, and should be avoided. They are the reason we have a health care crisis, number one. Number two, healing is easy. You've been lied to. The pharmaceutical industry has convinced you from 100 years of financial profiteering that healing is a sophisticated, complicated process that should only take place in high-tech, expensive, multi-million-dollar hospitals. It's nonsense. Surgery is complicated. Healing is easy. How easy is it? Your body grew itself all by itself from a single-celled organism into you. You think if it knew how to do that, it knows how to fix its blood sugar? You think if it knew how to do that, it knows how to fix its bones and joints? You think if it knew how to do that, it knows how to have a healthy heart? You're darn tootin' it does. Longevity is your answer for financial health. Hey, we're back, muddling through the medieval, Machiavellian, mediocre medical therapeutics delivered by your MD, and trying to show people the startling truth of the matter, which for a lot of people, because of cultural conditioning, just like my golf partner that I was alluding to at the very beginning of the segment today, people are unwilling to see the obvious, and the obvious is the unescapable truth of the matter is, the fact of the matter is that your medical doctor may be the nicest person in the world. They may have a great personality. They may, speak at church. They may give hundreds of hours of free medical care to the homeless and the needy. They may just be the world's greatest person. But the profession that they represent, the therapeutics that they deliver, are old-fashioned, outdated, ineffective, expensive, and dangerous, and should be avoided. The reason that we have a healthcare crisis in the world is because the therapies delivered by MDs don't work. They don't work. And the MD is completely incapable of seeing this because they have drunk their own Kool-Aid. They think that their you-know-what doesn't stink. They think that they're the be-all, end-all of the scientific method, and they're deluded, they're wrong, they're inaccurate, and they're knuckleheads. Your medical doctor does not have the ability to help you recover your health. They do not. Your medical doctor does not practice health care. Your medical doctor practices disease management. And there is a gigantic difference between health care and disease management. If you're down with disease management, if you're okay with taking the expensive advice of your MD and taking one prescription medication after the next, after the next, after the next, suffering the side effects thereof, and then having to change the medicine or up the medicine every 2 or 3 years because they stop working, and into the bargain, as time goes by, your health gets worse and worse and worse, and yet the MDs have convinced you that that's just life. Rather than look to their own shortcomings, the MDs have convinced you that the reason that you're sick is you're just getting older, and that's the way that it is. Shut up and take your Advil. Shut up and take another insulin shot. Shut up and take your Flexeril. Shut up and take your Ativan. Shut up and take your Paxil. Shut up and take your hydrochlorothiazide, whatever. Meanwhile, we get sicker and sicker and sicker. Our life expectancies get less and less. Our kids have more and more and more birth defects. What's it going to take for you to wake up and smell the coffee? You don't care about your life. I know you care about your grandchildren's life. I know you care about your kids' life. I know you care about the lives of those members of your family yet to be born. What are you doing about it? You're lying down on the job. That's what you're doing about it. Unless you're a longevity member, you're lying down on the job. If you've listened to this radio program for more than a week and you still haven't become a longevity member, you're lying down on the job. $10. There's a $10 buy-in to become a longevity member. Get your feet wet. See what we see. Take this car out for a ride. Kick the tires, slam the doors. And then, once you see that this is the real deal and that we're not blowing smoke, you come in for the full Monty, baby. $500 CEO pack. You got all these free samples. You sign up for my online health recovery subscription form. I have over 50 hours of archived material, 50 hours of archived material, 4 live hours of stuff you can access every week to bring people into the light. If you're still on the fence, your ass must be super glued to it, ladies and gentlemen, because I just don't get it. Now is the time. The time is now. You are the tipping point between health and disease. You are the tipping point between poverty and financial security. You are the tipping point between a pain-free life or a life filled with pain. FireYourMDNow.com, FireYourMDNow.ca. Either one will work. Go to that website, click on the longevity button in the upper right-hand corner, and join our merry band of men, women, and children dedicated to bringing our community members, our family members, our church members, and anybody who will listen into the light of medical nutrition. Remember, only you can stop allopathic reductionism. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, your friendly neighborhood naturopath. Looking forward to seeing you on tonight's webinar. My Introduction to Longevity webinar coming at you live tonight at 8 o'clock Central Time. For information about that, visit the websites, check it out, get informed, and make a difference in your world. Over and out. See you tomorrow.